Moses' final breath on Mount Nebo should have been the close of an epic life, but instead, it ignited a clash in the heavens. As Israel wept for their shepherd, a fierce battle erupted over his lifeless body, one unseen by human eyes, yet recorded in Scripture's quietest verse. Why would Satan himself strive to seize Moses' corpse? And what would Michael the archangel risk by standing in his way? Jude 1:9. Imagine Levites rolling back the stones while angels of mercy and a darker force sparred for possession of the prophet's remains. This wasn't mere grave guarding, but a war for legacy authority and the very heart of Israel's faith. What might the devil have achieved by perverting Moses' burial, turning sacred memory into idolatrous shrine? And why did God conceal the tomb? To thwart that plot. Ready to uncover the heavenly courtroom drama that followed Moses into death? Drop a 777 in the comments hit. Like and subscribe. Our journey into this Bible mystery is just beginning. Why Satan fought hard for the body of Moses after his death. Moses stood atop Mount Nebo, his eyes drinking in the promise of the promised land one last time, and Israel's heart broke in unison. For 40 years he had guided them, parting seas, delivering laws, pleading with God on their behalf. And now, as Deuteronomy records, Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Lord, and he buried him in Moab. Deuteronomy 34:5-6. A hush fell over the camp that no trumpet blast could pierce. From the humblest shepherd to the loftiest tribal prince, every soul felt the void his departure left. Day after day, the people wept. For 30 days their wails rose like incense to heaven, mourning the end of an era and the passing of their greatest leader. Yet even in death, Moses' story was far from finished. Burials speak of honor and finality, but something extraordinary unfolded as the mourners prepared the grave. In hidden realms beyond human sight, a fierce struggle erupted over the body of Israel's beloved prophet. Why, of all the heroes of faith, would Satan himself contest Moses' burial? What stake could the adversary have in the mortal remains of one who had served the living God so faithfully? Imagine the scene as Levites unearthed the shallow tomb rock by rock. A clash unseen by human eyes raged in the spirit world. Angels, messengers of mercy, mustered to secure the body, destined for its sacred rest, while a darker force fought tooth and nail to snatch it away. The book of Jude offers a tantalizing glimpse of this cosmic conflict. But Michael the archangel, when he disputed with the devil and argued about the body of Moses, did not dare pronounce against him a railing judgment. Jude 1:9. What arguments could have passed between heaven's mightiest warrior and the fallen one? What did Satan hope to achieve with the lifeless form of Moses, trapping it in corruption, denying it its rest, or perhaps using it as a trophy of defiance against God's purposes? Beneath the key of mortal grief, the struggle took on a weight that transcended burial customs. This was not merely a fight for a corpse, but a battle over legacy authority and the very promises God had bestowed through Moses. As the Israelites laid their leader in a tomb veiled from human memory, the unseen contest reached its crescendo and set the stage for revelations about life, death, and the power of God's promise that would echo through all generations. What truly happened in that silent valley of Moab? How did that heavenly debate shape the destiny of Israel and the unfolding drama between God and the adversary? Stay with us as we delve deeper into this extraordinary mystery, where every question draws us closer to the vast tapestry of divine justice and grace. Moses' passing on Mount Nebo was unlike that of any other servant of God. Scripture tells us plainly, "So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, in accordance with the word of the Lord, and he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab. But no man knows his burial place to this day." Deuteronomy 34:6. Pause on that. God himself laid Moses to rest, and then uniquely, he concealed the grave. Why would the Almighty hide the final resting place of his greatest prophet? Consider how quickly human hearts can turn reverence into worship of mere objects. If Israel had marked Moses' tomb, might they not have flocked there in pilgrimage, bringing incense and offerings meant more for Moses' power than for Yahweh's picture generations, kneeling before a stone slab attributing to Moses the miracles he performed only by God's authority? Could such a shrine built to honor God's messenger become a snare of idolatry, shifting devotion from the Creator to the created? The adversary saw that very risk and coveted Moses' body as a trophy he could pervert. In the unseen realm, Satan sought to claim the prophet's remains, hoping to turn sacred memory into a shrine of self-exaltation. Had he succeeded, the people might have fallen into veneration of Moses' dust rather than worship of God's name. So the Lord intervened, veiling the tomb's location beneath Moab's windswept hills. What divine wisdom lay in that hidden grave? How did concealing the body preserve Israel's worship for Yahweh alone and thwart the enemy's designs? As we unearth the celestial debate over Moses' corpse between Michael the archangel and Satan himself, we glimpse the lengths to which both God and his adversary will go to claim human history and the hearts of his people. What lessons emerge when even Moses' burial becomes battleground? And how might this buried secret resonate with our own temptations to worship the gifts rather than the giver? Join us as we explore the shadow war behind that hidden tomb and discover why its concealment continues to shape the faith of every generation. In the unseen realms above, the hiding of Moses' burial site ignited a fierce celestial struggle so pivotal that even the archangel Michael was drawn into conflict, according to Jude 1:9. But Michael the archangel, when he disputed with the devil and argued about the body of Moses, we catch only a glimpse of a confrontation whose motive Scripture leaves unsaid. Why would Michael, guardian of Israel, lock horns with Satan over a lifeless form? What cosmic stakes could lie in a single corpse? Scholars have long wrestled with that question. One prevailing insight points us back to humanity's age-old temptation, the urge to revere the creation rather than the Creator. As Paul warns in Romans 1:25, they exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator. Imagine if Moses' tomb were known, the faithful might have flocked to it, burning incense before a stone marker and ascribing to Moses a power that belonged solely to God. Could such misplaced devotion have become the doorway to idolatry, turning a godly memorial into a shrine of human veneration? What then drove Michael to stand against the devil's claim? Was he defending the sanctity of God's anointed, or preserving the truth of worship for heaven's king alone? And why would Satan, ever the master of counterfeit glory, yearn to possess those mortal remains, hoping to transform them into an object of illicit devotion? As the dust settled on that hidden valley in Moab, the echoes of that angelic dispute lingered, a stark reminder that even in death, Moses' legacy would serve as battleground for hearts and minds. What might we learn from a struggle waged in worlds beyond our sight? How does the very act of hiding Moses' tomb shield us from the subtle idolatries that still beckon today? Journey with us as we peel back the veil on this heavenly dispute and uncover why the place of Moses' rest became a front line in the war for reverence itself. God went to great lengths to keep Moses' final resting place a secret guarding against the urge to venerate his remains, rather than honor the one who had empowered him. As Deuteronomy tells us, no man knows his burial place to this day. Deuteronomy 34:6. And some have wondered whether Moses even experienced a normal death ascending directly into heaven. The truth remains that when his life's journey ended on that windswept mountain, his body simply vanished from human view. The Lord appointed Michael the archangel to stand watch over Moses' earthly frame, ensuring that Satan could not claim it for his own dark designs. Jude gives us this startling glimpse. But Michael the archangel, when he disputed with the devil and argued about the body of Moses, did not dare pronounce against him a railing judgment, but said, "The Lord rebuke you." Jude 1:9. Notice Michael's extraordinary restraint. Although he is the warrior who once cast Satan from heaven, Michael refuses to hurl his own condemnation. Instead, he invokes God's authority alone. "The Lord rebuke you." Why would Michael, brimming with divine power, leave all rebuking to God? What does this teach us about humility, jurisdiction, and the proper source of judgment? By hiding Moses' grave and entrusting its defense to God's chief warrior, yet insisting that only the Lord can pronounce judgment, God preserved his people from crossing the line into idolatry. As Paul warns, they exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator. Romans 1:25. If Moses' tomb had become a shrine, how easily might Israel's devotion have slipped from Yahweh to the prophet himself? Across the pages of Scripture, Michael the archangel emerges as heaven's preeminent warrior, his very title, archangel, marking him as a messenger of the highest rank and a champion who contends with demonic forces in Daniel, Jude, and Revelation. Yet when the stakes involved the body of Moses, Michael refrained from pronouncing his own rebuke, instead invoking the sovereign judge. "The Lord rebuke you." This restraint reminds us that even the mightiest of God's messengers acknowledges divine jurisdiction in matters of judgment. Why then do we so often seize vengeance into our own hands? We rush to curse or condemn those who wrong us because we crave immediate justice, the illusion of control, and a swift end to our pain, and we grow impatient with the slow, sovereign rhythms of God's redemptive work. Our fallen nature inclines us toward prideful retribution rather than humble trust in the Lord's perfect timing. Yet if Michael the archangel, whose sword once hurled Satan from heaven, defers judgment to God alone, how much more should we learn to leave room for the wrath of God? Romans 12:19. Trusting that he and he alone will make all things right. Satan's fierce contest over Moses' corpse wasn't a mere curiosity of the devil, but a calculated bid to lure Israel into idolatry. If Moses' bones had been laid bare for all to see, would the people not have turned his grave into a shrine, bowing in devotion to the clay that once housed God's greatest prophet? Scripture hints at this shadow struggle in Jude 1:9, where Michael the archangel, summoned to defend the body, refrained from uttering a harsh rebuke himself and instead declared, "The Lord rebuke you," preserving divine prerogative to thwart every temptation of worshiping the servant rather than the sovereign God himself. Concealed Moses' burial place. No one knows his grave to this day. Deuteronomy 34:6, and tasked Michael with its protection. In these hidden tomb and heavenly intervention, we see the lengths to which both enemy and Almighty would go. Satan striving to divert honor to the fallen, and God moving heaven's champion to ensure all praise remains fixed on the Creator alone. How might our own hearts be tempted to revere the gift rather than the giver? As the dust settled on that hidden Moabite valley, one truth remained clear. Even in death, Moses' legacy was worth fighting for. Satan's fierce bid to snatch away the prophet's body wasn't driven by simple spite. It was an attempt to redirect Israel's worship from the giver of glory to the gift itself. Michael's restrained yet resolute rebuke. "The Lord rebuke you" reminds us that true judgment and honor belong to God alone. Jude 1:9. From this celestial showdown, we draw a powerful lesson. Every gift, every hero, every memory can become a snare if we venerate the messenger rather than the master. When we place trophies, be they accomplishments, relationships, or even spiritual milestones above our devotion to God, we risk erecting idols in our own hearts. So let Moses' hidden tomb speak to us today. Keep your eyes on the Creator, not the creation. Give Him preeminence in life and death, and guard your worship against every subtle shift toward idolizing gifts instead of the giver. If this mystery stirred your soul, drop a 777 below. Give us a like and subscribe to journey deeper into Scripture's untold wonders. May we, like Michael, always defer to the Lord's authority, and may our worship shine brightly on the one who alone is worthy.